Welcome back to Run, Skip, Run. This is the race results for the Triathlon Trilogy. This was race number 3. It was actually a beautiful day down in Key Biscayne. It was sunny. It wasn't too hot, but the sun was out and it was a nice cool breeze. And it was really, really beautiful morning. I was doing the duathlon, which is it starts off as a 1-mile run, followed by a 10-mile bike, and finishing up with a 3.1-mile run. The bike, for those of you who have never done this series before, it's actually a very scenic bike ride going down through Key Biscayne. There's a lot of water, a lot of distractions, I guess you could say, as you're biking, but it really, really is beautiful, and usually there's a little breeze to keep you cool during the bike. The only challenge during the course is the Rickenbacker Causeway, which really is not a huge deal unless you're not used to hills. And it follows up by a 3.1-mile run through Virginia Key. Now, I was able to meet up with my other Team Aquaphor member down here in South Florida, and we had a great race day. As soon as we met up, took some pictures, I headed over to the duathlon starting line, and my normal group of competitors were there, which was, it's always good to see. It gives me some consistent stats to compare myself to. So I had a great little start to the run. Now I'm going to make a reference back to episode number 39 where I was talking about doing my transitions, primarily my bike in and bike out. I practiced a flying mount and my running off the bike, and we're going to get back to that in a little second, but it might make you laugh to go back and watch this episode for what I'm about to show you here in a little bit. Here I am going down on the bike. I do not have great speed at this point, and I'm in pain. Once again, you'll realize why I was in pain in just a moment. Before we get to that little piece of the clip, I'll just show you a piece of my dismount. Dismount was fine. Last time I did this race, I was a little clumsy on my dismount, but there we go. Everything was pretty smooth. Now, let me show you why I was in pain during this race and why it slowed me up a little bit. This is my bike mount. Here I am coming out of the bike, and down I go. Not good. I get up, regain my senses, and I take off. Now I'm going to slow this down because this really bothered me. This is something I practiced 100 times, never had an incident, and it really bothered me why I screwed it up. So here it is a little closer up. It's a little painful to watch, actually. Let's go back and slow it down just a little bit. And there goes my first foot. What had happened is the guy right to my right made a little movement, caused me to break my concentration a little bit. And as I go to put my foot on the first shoe, it slips off, goes between the shoe and the bike frame, and I take a tumble. Not good. Here's a really close-up shot right there. I'm going to do it one more time in full motion. You can see I didn't really miss a beat. I got up and I kept going. At that point, I really didn't know how badly I was hurt. All I knew is I was in pain. I ended up hurting my hip, and I was just getting scraped up a little bit. But it did affect my bike speed, and it did affect my run. It definitely did that. Here's my bloody shoe that I looked down during my run, and I was like, oh, that's not a good thing. Anyways, I finished, and look at this. I ended up in first place for my age group, which is I was actually a little bit surprised by. During the race, I did have my target guy that I was trying to beat, and I did pass him during the run, so I knew that I was doing halfway decent, but I wasn't doing as good as I normally do. However, after the race, the USAT officials posted their penalties. Guess what? I ended up third place Masters, which was my goal. So I completed my goal for the day. Ended up on the podium, third place, which I was very, very, very happy about. I had mentioned that I was going to be racing with my buddy Hoy. There he is. He's the guy that got me involved in triathlons to begin with. And here's a bunch of triers. They're all with medals, and there's my results. So all in all, it was a pretty decent day. I was actually 30 seconds slower than a month ago, which I'm bummed out about a little bit, but, you know, I got a month before the next race. So until then, see ya.